It's confirmed. Nketiah has been dropped by Gareth Southgate from the squad that's going to play against Italy tonight at Wembley Stadium. Welcome to the Rokani Media Football. This is the Football News Show, and we're here to obviously let you know the latest news and information as far as this game of football is really concerned. Nketiah, one of the players at Arsenal, that obviously is the line for Arsenal, has been dropped by Gareth Southgate ahead of their tie against Italy. Remember, he made his debut when England was playing a friendly game with Australia, and he came in through and really made his debut around the 70th minute when they took off Oli Watkins off the field of play to obviously see him really get into the England national team. And this is the second time he really got a call up, but the first time he was called up as they played against Scotland and Ukraine, he never took part into those games, though he obviously made it to the bench. But this time round, he played the friendly of England versus Australia at Wembley. That was, I think, on Friday. That is Nketiah for you. Now, as they went into the more competitive game of football, Nketiah has been dropped by the English national team manager. And guess what? A story has been presented to us by Rob Dorset. He's a Sky Sports senior reporter. He confirmed to us that Nketiah alongside Fakayo Tomori have been left out of the England's 23-man squad to face Italy in their Euro 2024 campaign qualifier tonight. Now, let's first talk about Nketiah in depth or in full, because one will ask himself, why is Nketiah being dropped? Nketiah is being dropped because of the strikers that England are really having at their disposal. That is Harry Kane, Callum Wilson, and Ole Watkins. Those are the three strikers that have been picked by the manager of England to see to it that they're obviously coming through to obviously help the team to beat Italy tonight. Now, when you look at all those three strikers, I think Nketiah comes nowhere near them. You get? Harry Kane, self-explanatory. When you look at his stats this season at Bayern Munich, they're obviously huge stats. When you look at Harry Kane, right? When you look at him this season, he has gone ahead to really score lots of goals for Bayern Munich. He has gone ahead to really play 7 games in the Bundesliga. He has 8 goals and 4 assists. In the Champions League, he has 1 goal, 1 assist in 2 games. That is Harry Kane for you. When we go at Oli Watkins, I'm trying to bring you the stats of these players as to why they've gone ahead to be picked ahead of Nketiah, and Nketiah has been dropped. 8 matches played for Aston Villa in the Premier League. He has gone ahead to play 4 games. He has gone ahead to play 8, scored 4, and 4 assists. Those are 8 goal involvements. In the EFL Cup, 1 game played, 0 goals and 0 assists. And I think has also gone ahead to play into the UEFA Europa League and has some good stats in there for you. Now, let's go to Callum Wilson. Wilson of Newcastle. Let's see what his stats are this season. Callum Wilson has gone ahead to play 7 games. He's gone ahead to score 4 goals, 0 assists. In the Champions League, 1 game, 0 assists. And in the EFL Cup, he has gone ahead to obviously find himself not scoring any goals. 7 games, 4 goals. Now let's see Nketiah. Nketiah, the forward of Arsenal, and what his stats have been like this season. Nketiah, in the Premier League, he has gone ahead to play 8 games, 2 goals. I think he has an assist, right? He has an assist for the penalty that Bukayo Saka took when Arsenal was playing against a certain team. I think that is Bournemouth. He has an assist with him. And he has an assist in the EFL Cup, that is the Carabao Cup. And that means he has scored 2 goals so far this season, right? He has 2 goals this season. And now you know why. He's really behind Callum Wilson, who has 4. Ole Watkins has 4 and 4 assists. And Harry Kane, he has 9 goals and 5 assists this season. That is it. And that's why those players are really being picked ahead of him. I really understand that for him to get into that team permanently, he needs to put up a show of really firing in all cylinders. And he's lucky that Ivan Toney is out of the mix. But the moment Ivan Toney returns, I don't see him coming close to this England national team, because even Calvert-Lewin is knocking on the door, and he's really so much in form ever since return from injury at his Everton club team. He's really firing in all cylinders, and these strikers are obviously doing a lot of work to obviously that they obviously go to the Euros. And for Nketiah to make it to the Euro squad in 2024, he needs to put up a show. With rumors going around that Arsenal might sign Ivan Toney in the January transfer window, that will end his career at the England national team if at all Nketiah doesn't find a club that's going to give him regular football to compete with his players. Because Ole Watkins, trust me, with how he's firing in all cylinders, is going to score 20 goals in the Premier League. Callum Wilson will, Harry Kane will in the Bundesliga. That's a sure deal. And Ivan Toney can come in through and obviously hit the ground running upon his return in the January transfer window. That is it. So if you know, you know. You cannot obviously put in a disclaimer of as to why Nketiah has been dropped, because if Arsenal is told, and you're really a perfect Arsenal fan, that on Oli Watkins and Nketiah, who do you take? On any day, you'll take Oli Watkins. On Callum Wilson and Nketiah, who you'll take Callum Wilson. On Ivan Toney and Nketiah, who do you take? You'll obviously take Callum Wilson. On Calvert-Lewin and Nketiah, who do you take? You'll take Calvert-Lewin. And for Calvert-Lewin, he fits the side of Arsenal because he offers a different dimension altogether. Good on the floor and good on the ceiling. That is, his aerial prowess is really great, and his ground prowess is obviously great. So his foot is really good, and he's a good finisher, and he gives Arsenal a different dimension of a player that Nketiah doesn't bring to that side. You get? So that is it, and I think you now understand why this man is going to hate to be really dropped. Now, my huge concern is for Tomori. Tomori is playing game in, game out in Serie A at his team known as AC Milan. He's really one of the best central defenders into the Premier League, and I won't be shocked next season when Premier League teams are going to hate to go on and sign him into the league, because Tomori is really a very good central defender that needs to come to the Premier League just to see to it that he dislodges the likes of Harry Maguire. When you look at Tomori and Harry Maguire, who the manager of England is obviously keeping onto his squad, yet he's not doing the necessary work, Tomori is by far a better player than Harry Maguire. He's young, 25 years of age. He has gone ahead to play 7 games into the Serie A, started all of them, scored 1 goal. In the Champions League, started all the 2 games, scored 0 goals. That is it. Now, when you go to Harry Maguire, obviously, he has gone ahead to start, I think, 1 Premier League game. That was against Crystal Palace. And the rest of the 7 games, he was benched. That is it. Then, in the Champions League, he has gone ahead to not start any game. That is it. He has played 3 Premier League goals, 3 Premier games and 1 assist, 1 EFL Cup game, and Champions League game. Not yet any this season. So it shows you that Tomori Fakio is really a better player to suit this. But when you look at what Gareth Southgate is really doing for the club or for the team of England, it's really favoritism being practiced. That's why in the video I did earlier this morning, I went ahead and ranted at him because of picking Calvin Phillips ahead of players like Conor Gallagher to start against players like Ward-Prowse, right? And very many other English midfielders playing that league. You know, picking ahead of them, it's really abysmal. And this manager needs to obviously be sacked if at all he doesn't win the Euros, because that will be another, I think, 4th successful tournament where he doesn't obviously deliver for England. Yet England has some of the best players on the planet Earth. as it's obviously thriving to where they want it to go. So that is it for Tomori. He was also dropped, but I think Harry Maguire would have been the best player to be dropped because Tomori is really playing regular game time or regular football at his team of AC Milan. We go to Gareth Southgate on John Stones' fitness. He said, we are working closely with Man City in terms of his recovery. He's been out for a long time, so we've got to keep assessing him. So today, John Stones, I think, is going to start. He's one of those players that are going to start. And the other player that he's one of those players that has not been playing, you know. He's just returning from injury. I think he came on when Arsenal was playing Man City and they lost. So it shows you how his levels are. Even in the game they played against Australia, he came in through and really played some minutes. But that does not give him a go to really become a player, one of the best players on the field of play, you know, right now. Because he's good, but I don't see him as much fit. But we have a manager, England have a manager who is really what word can I use that can best describe what this man is? He's not a tinkerman, and he's not a manager who changes his team. You know, he's a stagnant manager. You know, he's stagnant in his tactics, he's stagnant in his players that he picks. And don't be shocked today when you see Harry Maguire and John Stones playing into that central defense. Then Steve Kay went ahead and obviously confirmed to us that Calvin Phillips and Marcus Rashford are expected to start for England tonight against Italy at Wembley after their fantastic beginning to the season with their respective clubs. Now, what fantastic season with respective clubs. Marcus Rashford is really having a abysmal, but for Marcus Rashford, you'll understand that he has just been a moment away to really score a goal, and that's what we're going to hate to be calling in for as we fans of Man United, that Marcus Rashford should obviously not find himself in a position of really being selfish. You know, he's not good at really going through or going past players, especially if at all they are really cocooned in a certain area. You know, a forest of legs ahead of Marcus Rashford without space, he won't thrive. And that's where he needs to obviously go in for an easy pass, and then they release him into the wide yards of space where he operates better with a return pass. But he doesn't do that. And I think today he deserves to start, because if they don't have Bukayo Saka, then he will know that Rashford has to start on either wings, because even in the game of Australia, he played off the bench, meaning that he is going to start today. Then for Calvin Phillips, I don't agree with him starting today because he doesn't deserve it. You know, there are other players that we're going to hate to be playing game in, game out that deserve to start. But this England national team leaks like a watering can, and you'll obviously understand what exactly is going to happen today. Now, let's go to the team that we expect to start today and see whether we are going to be right. Now, in goal, it's not going to be Aaron Ramsdale. There's going to be Jordan Pickford in goal. Right back, Kyle Walker. Left back, is it Colwill? Right, because Chilwell is away. Then central defense, Harry Maguire, John Stones. That is it. Then the double pivot, because the system is 4-2-3-1. Declan Rice and Calvin Phillips. Then Bellingham is going to be played as a central attacking midfielder ahead of Calvin Phillips and Declan Rice. Phil Foden is going to be played as a right attacking midfielder. He's going to play into that Bukayo Saka position because Saka is really out. Left forward or left attacking midfielder, Marcus Rashford and Harry Kane will lead the line for the English national team today. So, your thoughts on to Nketiah, dropped by Gareth Southgate, are welcome in the comment section below. What do you think about Harry Maguire being that squad that's going to play tonight? Yet Tomori is not in, yet he plays game in, game out. And my starting 11 that I believe this man is going to bring in through to take on the side of Italy. For Italy, they're really having some good players that can always cause great to England, like the Chiesas, Jorginho, and very many others, you know. Badenjeski, Di Marco, they're really having huge players that can obviously haunt this side of of England. But all in all, England are the faves to win this beautiful game of football, and they only need 1 point to qualify to the next Euros that are going to take place in 2024 down in Germany. That is 2024. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Second video of the day. More is yet to come. Nketiah has been dropped by Gareth Southgate. That's the news I had to bring to you right now. Hope you guys have gone ahead to really gate it, and we are returning in a gift. We thank God for the gift of life. May the living to God bless you abundantly. Rokani David remains my name. I'm out. The Muslims, Barakallahu fikum. Ciao, ciao.